Alrighty. You ready, Steve?
Hi, my name is Steve, and I am me.
Alrighty. How old are you?
That's a tricky question. Well, I'm 38, mentally. As long as you don't tell anybody, between you and me, the age of this body is 68 years old.
68?
68.
I never knew that about you. I'll keep it hush hush.
Yeah, I knew I could rely on you.
What do you do?
I'm a musician.
Do you play any specific instruments or?
I play guitars. Some musicians are like guitars, banjos, ukuleles, harps, whatever, but I just stick with guitars. I've got a small collection of, I think, 14 guitars, various sizes and shapes and tones and whatnot.
What's the very first memory you can remember?
Very first memory. Well, I was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and of course that's in what's known as Tornado Alley. So I think my very first memory of this, as a toddler, I guess, waking up in this little basement area under the house. And my parents telling me, "Well, Steve, we had a tornado last night, so we had to come down here and sleep in the storm shelter." And came out, and the house was okay. And the house across the street, I think there were some broken windows in the front. And then we drove down the street a couple of blocks, and I thought a monster had walked through because of the houses with the roofs off and sitting in the front yard, and walls collapsed and all of that. So that's, I guess, my earliest memory that I know of.
Okay. Is there a dream that you've had that was so intense, so real, visceral, that you still remember it to this day?
Yeah. Years ago, when my son Matt was like a toddler or something, I had a dream that he had been like in an accident of some sort and he died. And I just woke up just sobbing just beside myself because it was just so real and so intense. Wow.
What is your greatest fear?
Greatest fear. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that. Things that I'm afraid of. I don't know. My greatest fear isn't really anything esoteric. I think the thing is, it's heights. You know, put me in a little plane or something, I'm fine. But you put me on top of a ladder or something like that, I'm scared. I think I'm afraid that I can't fly.
Okay. Do you remember the first pet you ever had?
Yeah, the first pet. Well, I don't know if a goldfish would count. I really can't do much with them. First pet I had that I could interact with was the family had this little fluffy dog named Bucky, and cute little shaggy dog. Yeah, that was the first pet that I can recall.
Do you remember the first kiss you ever had?
First kiss. So the one that stands out. There's this girl named Tammy. She was my cousin. Well, she was adopted, so she wasn't really my cousin. And my family and I had gone out to Oklahoma on vacation, and there was some sort of family camp out. And yeah, I think I was like 16 or something. And yeah, I did some smooching with Tammy there.
Do you remember the first time that you fell in love?
Oh, the first time I fell in love. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how we would really define falling in love. I can remember being like in second, third grade or something and having a crush on the girl next door. I don't know if that was being in love or not.
Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Guilty pleasures. Um, yeah, okay, I'll admit it. I do enjoy relaxing with a Disney movie. I really enjoyed, what was it, Moana? That
Okay,
was,
so like the animated Disney movie?
yeah, it's relaxing and just kind of fun.
I watch those too. It's nice nostalgia. And go back to the ones from my childhood that I remembered watching, like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you have any hobbies?
Um, I don't really have hobbies. Um, Back when I was working every day at a job, music was my hobby. At the time, I thought it was my passion. I would argue with you. No, it's not a hobby. But I think that before I was able to go, musician full time, that playing guitar was kind of a hobby slash passion kind of thing.
Do you have any hobbies now?
No,
Or do you just fill all your time with the music?
yeah, I'm just like full time music because I'm either um, looking for gigs or I've got gigs and I'm doing graphics and promotion on social media for my gigs, or I'm learning a new song, or I'm out there playing, or so that takes up most of my time.
Do you know how to cook?
Oh yeah,
What's your favorite dish to cook?
favorite dish to cook. Good question. Well, I was trained in a French Cajun restaurant, so I like making gumbo.
Combo. What's your favorite book that you read?
Life by Keith Richards.
You were talking about that one.
Yeah.
Really like Keith. You got a guitar by him. Or
Yeah, I got the Keith Richards, commemorative model or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like Keith. There's just something about him that, resonates with me. His playing, but also his personality. He's kind of rough and tough, but if you listen to him talk, he has a lot of very good insights. He's got an intellectual.
Is there anything basic or commonly done by most people that you can't do?
I can't do. Let's see. Can't do or won't do.
Either one.
But can I skate? I tried. A lot of people can ice skate, they glide along and whatnot. I just can't do it.
Have you ever had to make a major life decision that contributed to the life that you have now?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be, back when I had a career and a job in the outside world, I was art director for Divers Alert Network in Durham, and I did their Alert Diver magazine and promotional stuff for it, photography, whatnot. And there was a corporate shakeup there, and they decided they wanted to go another direction. And so I was out of a job there. They gave me a great compensation package. I was grateful for that. But my parents lived up the road there in Newport, and whenever I'd come home to visit them, I'd always go. In the back of my little voice, I'd be walking on the beach, or I'd be walking in Beaufort. Steve, why don't you live here? Why don't you live here? So I saw that it's an opportunity to finally move back to Carteret County. Once I made that decision, I found a job, I found an apartment, and boom, 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 all the dominoes just fell. So yeah, once I made that decision to move back to Carteret County, everything just the universe responded, and everything worked out smoothly, and here I am.
Do you have any major life regrets?
Yes, no, everything I've done throughout my life has led me to where I am now. And so I'm grateful to be here. But I regret that, that in relationships or whatever, that I've done things that people found to be hurtful. I could have been. I see how I could have done this or that differently and been maybe kinder to people or nicer to my wife or something like that. Yeah.
What's your proudest moment?
Proudest moment. I guess that would be the two proudest moments when my sons were born.
How old are they?
Let's see, Matt is 39 and Dave is 37. Sometimes they're 1 year apart, sometimes they're 2 years apart because they're 18 months apart. So,
Okay. Back to back. Let's see. What's your happiest memory?
happiest memory. Gosh, there's a lot of them. Well, an early memory. Um, when I was about 4, there was a drugstore in Ocean City that was giving away an electric train set, and I remember, looking up on the counter. Mom had to let me up to see the train. So they give it away for Christmas. So come Christmas morning, I had won the electric train set. So that was a happy day.
Very cool. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Worst job. Oh man. I guess early on, Captain Jim's Seafood in Greenville. I just graduated from college, and it was like sort of a fill-in job, and just the way the management treated people, and it was always kind of like sketchy if they were going to have enough money to cover their paycheck and stuff like that. That was bad. That was a bad job.
Have you ever been to another country?
Yeah, I have. I've been to, years ago, I was in Roatan, Honduras on a scuba diving trip.
Wow. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Is there something that you want to accomplish before you die?
Oh, lots of things. I want to get, of course, with music, I want to get more of that out there. I want to get things recorded. I want to get them online. I want to get click to plays on them. I want to travel. For whatever reason, I just love Yorkshire, England. It's a beautiful place. I want to go hang out in Yorkshire and just take that all in sometime.
Are you enjoying your experience right now?
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Always like to keep tabs along the way. What do you think is the meaning of life?
I think, life is like a blank canvas. It has no meaning in and of itself. I think, the experiences we have, our thoughts and our feelings, our connection with the universe, creates meaning. We create our own meaning as we go along. And so for me personally, that would be, the meaning of life would be love, light, music, growth, things like that.
Do you believe in ghosts or the paranormal?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever experienced anything paranormal or unexplainable?
Oh yeah. There was this little There was this little house in downtown Raleigh where I used to live, and the woman I was living with this woman at the time. Her name was Deanna, and she and I both started feeling presences in the house, and there were 3 very distinct. There was a little child, there was a woman, and there was a man. And the child liked to play little pranks, and he would let his presence be known. I would be sitting in the living room, we'd hear something fall off the shelf or off the counter in the kitchen, and we'd be like, "Okay, little boy, we know you're here." And Deanna, in particular, could feel the woman's presence. And Deanna was prone to getting hiccups really bad. I mean, it would go on for half an hour or an hour. It'd be incapacitating. So one night she had the hiccups real bad, and she could feel the lady, and she was like, "Okay, lady, if you want to be helpful, make these hiccups stop." Boom, her hiccups stopped immediately when she asked the lady for help. And there's this back room. It was set up as my kids' bedroom for when they were visiting, and that room was noticeably colder than the other rooms in the house. And one morning after the kids got up and we had breakfast, they were like 9 or 10, 8 or 9 along in there somewhere. They were both looking kind of sheepish at the table. And Matt was like, "David wants to ask you something. He wants to tell you something." And David was like, "Okay, who's that man that stands at the foot of the bed sometimes?"
Good one.
Yeah, so that little house was definitely haunted. It was behind a church. Um, so Deanna and I had a theory that maybe the house was built on what used to be a graveyard or something. I don't know. The short answer, yeah, there were three very distinct presences in that house.
Wow. Do you have any bad habits?
Bad habits. Oh, darn, I've given most of them up. At least when it comes to substances or whatnot. I get bad habits. I guess maybe I try to leave the bourbon alone, but I just have a little taste for it every now and then. I guess that's my bad habit. Yeah.
If there was one thing you could do before you die that you haven't already done, what would it be?
One thing. There's travel. This, that, the other. But if there's one thing, I guess I would want to be tremendously wealthy, so that I could, live out my life in comfort, and then also have money to pass on to, my children and my friends and charity and whatnot.
Is there somewhere special that you want to go to or see in person?
Yeah, Yorkshire. There's this beautiful little village that's right on the coast of the east coast of England. It's called Robin's Hood Bay, and I would love to just go there and just hang out. It's a beautiful little place.
What did you want to be when you were a child?
I wanted to play guitar, be a musician.
See, you got to live out that dream.
Yeah, thank you, Beatles. You got me started on that track.
If you had to give a message to future generations, what would it be?
Future generations, oh my. I would think just to remember that you are a thought in the mind of God, and to live your life with honesty, kindness, love, and light.
Very nice. If you could live in any time, any place, when and where would it be and why?
Oh man, I think just off the top of my head, Casper, I think maybe like the late 1960s. There were a lot of concerts that I read about going on back then. that I would love to see. Imagine being in England and seeing Jimi Hendrix's first couple of concerts, or seeing Led Zeppelin at Madison Square Garden for the early '70s, or check out some of this late '60s Stones concert in Hyde Park or whatever.
Very cool. What do you think life will be like in 500 years?
Wow, 500 years. Gosh, well, the way things are going. I wonder if I wondered if human race still even exists. Will it just be a barren planet here, or I hope it's not. I mean, I hope that the people in the future finally get the flying jet cars, you know, that the Jetsons had, and that they find a way to live in peace. You know.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial life?
Yeah, I do.
That one's a real simple one. Who's your favorite historical figure and why?
Favorite historical figure. Okay. Yeah, I don't think a lot about history. Who would that be? Okay, well, I guess I guess that would be somebody like George Washington. It was our first president and everything, and his for better or for worse, he was there at the beginning of our country to oversee things and get it rolling.
What's the first film you can remember watching?
At a movie theater or
Wherever, yeah.
okay. Well, the first one on TV. I was at a friend's house as a child, and there was some sort of Creature of the Black Lagoon movie on or something. His mom had already sent us to bed, and we were supposed to be in bed, but we came out and we were like peeking over the back of the couch, and it scared the shit out of us.
Do you remember the first song that you ever heard?
First song I ever heard. Well, okay, one that stands in my mind. Gosh, I remember that my early. Seems unreal, man. My early memories are like the late 1950s. Like holy shit. That song about the purple people eater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to scare me to death. Yeah, but my mom was like, "No, it's a funny song. He only eats purple people." Oh, okay.
Well, you're doing great, Steve. We're almost done, so we're gonna wrap it up with a word association.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna say a word, and you just say the first thing that pops into your head. You ready?
Okay.
Phone.
Facebook.
Tall.
Fly.
Wild.
Tiger.
Drive.
Who's gonna take me
The car. It's very nice. Air.
Oh my. Almost cut my hair.
Parrot.
Pirates.
Computer.
Apple.
Music. Candle.
Scented.
Story.
Tell me.
Moon.
Sun.
Ocean.
Shore.
Monument.
Washington.
Island.
Paradise.
Below.
Hello.
Sphere.
Planet.
Suit.
Tie.
Table. Table.
Table. Chair.
Sky.
Blue.
Street.
Crossroads.
Bonus.
Yes, please.
Summer.
Winter.
Feast.
Ah. Thanksgiving.
Party.
BYOB.
Complete.
Satisfied.
Excellent. Well, those are all my questions.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, man. That was fun.